Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Got to do one cast. Today is the 21st of February. This is thirsty. They're running 2 units of water here on Lake Taneycomo. I boated up here. This is the old River Lake dock just above me, and this is where Sun Valley used to be. Got a 3 32nd ounce white jig on. And I'm going to fish this deep side down here a little ways. I actually really like fishing this bank. It's got a lot of docks on it, but it's a good deep bank. Water's doesn't really, it's not real turbulent through here. Kind of runs through pretty straight. Got a little breeze. Blow when I pulled up. Fishing's been very, very good today. Getting a lot of really good reports. I was hoping to catch one on the first cast. No, I've had several people tell me fishing's been really, really good. A lot of good places up here. It's been pretty good. Dwayne had a trip and they had a 22-inch rainbow on a white jig just across from Trout Hollow. This morning, they released it at the dock. They caught some fish up in the trophy area, but they just couldn't quite get that 20-incher. So they had one at 19 1/4, and several others about 18. Bill Babler called me, one of our guides, and he said that he was fishing this morning up or down. He said from the railroad bridges down, the railroad bridge down. He said he was fishing, fly fishing. He had so the fish were coming up and surfacing a lot down in that area. So he put on he said it didn't make any difference which dry, 14 elk hair or something, and a little zebra midge below it. And he said he had 28 rainbows on 28 casts. I'm just repeating what he said. That's some really good fishing. He said most of the fish came on the dries, which is actually, it's a lot of fun if the fish are hitting dries. They normally don't hit dries here on Taneycomo. And he said Tony Weedley had a trip, and they were fishing by the fish house. And he said sculpin jigs, they were just tearing them up. And that's been the report here the last week. Last weekend was kind of the same thing. Guys were fishing down the mouth of Coon Creek, out in front of the landing, catching a lot of fish. Some of the fish I saw last weekend were freshly stocked, but they were big fish. They were 13, 14, 15-inch fish. So that's pretty cool. White jigs are still working pretty good. White and gray up below the dam. And, you know, as we caught a lot of fish all the way down to Fall Creek yesterday, Dwayne and I. on a white jig. So not seeing any fish spitting up any shad, or the fish we're catching and don't have real big bellies like we saw earlier in the week. But typically the shad don't come through unless they're really running 3 or 4 units of water, which they really haven't been doing much the last few days. And I was talking to somebody today. I always like to figure out why they're doing, you know, why they're generating a lot or why they're not generating a lot. Sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason, but I thought today that, you know, they're not running much at Bull Shoals down into the White River, which runs down into the Mississippi. Well, that area down there has gotten a lot of rain, and I haven't looked at the levels of the Mississippi, but I got a feeling that those areas down there are experiencing some really, really high water. So they're not going to release Bull Shoals when the river and the area of the delta down there is experiencing floods. So all that rain down there might be affecting what they're doing with the lakes here. So, because they definitely changed the pattern of the flow this week. Because Beaver is almost 3 feet above Power Pool now. Table Rock's only come up just a tiny bit. It's only 6 inches over Power Pool. They usually catch a fish in this little pool here. There you go. They usually catch it up there in the top end. Real small rainbow. I'm gonna back out a little bit. He's got some line either coming out of his behind or coming out of his mouth. Sorry, buddy. I only have half a thumbnail, so and I just tore off almost all the marabou off my jig, so we're gonna have to tie up a new jig. Let's say I just get into the rod. Okay, let's see. I got 2-pound line, and this is a real small jig. That's okay. This is a 32nd ounce. I'm way off the bank now, so I'm just going to throw this out and let it sink and work it off the bottom. Try it for a few minutes. Supposed to get some rain tonight, and a little cooler tomorrow, and then a little bit more rain Friday night and Saturday morning. But it's supposed to get really warm on Saturday, up in the 60s. So I don't think it's supposed to rain much. It just It's nice that the wind is laid down. I'm gonna run over here to the shallow side here real quick. If I'm gonna throw a small jig, I want a little shallower water. I really do like fishing this bank. I'm going to take the boat all the way over to the shallow water and fish out towards the middle. Okay. This way I don't have to let my jig drop so far. Over there I'm in 12 foot of water. You see that heron? That's way too far away to see with a GoPro, but he just came down and grabbed a fish off the water. It's in his mouth. He's swimming over to the bank now. It's too, even to magnify it, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to see it. It's a bad thing about GoPro. There's one. Cool. They're really on white, and they were catching them on white even down at the landing. Ooh, he's pretty small. Very thick. He's been eating good. Got all of his fins. Got one more cast and I'm going to be done in a bunch of snags here. A bunch of trees in the water. This is where we saw the big browns. It's been a month ago, but saw a couple of big browns on this bank. Me and Dwayne were fishing one evening. Ah! Couple more casts and then we'll call it. But it's a great evening. Golly, it's just like last evening. Very little wind. Water's just about right. My motor's just about ready to hit that log. Yeah, I might drift outside of it. Missed it. Oh, no, I didn't. Well, I caught a couple on one cast, so I'm gonna keep fishing, but I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for watching. We will see you again tomorrow.